The Leading Edge Cricket Podcast. Oh, shit. England have collapsed again.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Leading Edge Cricket Podcast. Episode 10 is here today, so close after episode 9, and we're here to take a look and break down the first day of the first test match in the day-nighter at Eden Park between New Zealand and England. And we have got an incredible first day's play, a mind-blowing first day's play to talk about. I am Rob, one half of the Leading Edge Cricket Podcast, joined as always bright and early in England by my co-host Rich.
Hey Rob, I'm not going to say how's it going today.
How's it going? Down in the dumps, mate.
You mean you're not a Kiwi now? You mean you haven't grabbed your New Zealand passport and decided that that's the one you're going to use from now on?
If I was ever going to be on the bandwagon, it's today, right?
Just a bit, mate.
It's a shocker. It must be like deja vu for you, though, mate. You know, I've been over here a few years, and you've just had to go through the Ashes, and every morning you wake up in the Ashes, and you wake up with a little bit of a glimmer of hope, and you look at the BBC website, and it fills you with disappointment when you see the England scorecard, and you've just had to relive that all over again.
Oh, it's brilliant. Fantastic morning. The alarm went, well, I actually woke up before the alarm. The cat was the alarm this morning. Leant over to the phone, flicked it off flight mode. The first notification came through. It was something like England, New Zealand 127th of 3. I think that was the fall of their third wicket, 123 for 3. And I was thinking, what's gone on here? They must have had some rain. Yeah, it must have been a delayed start. New Zealand, God, they've only scored 123. Oh, blimey, I wonder what's happened here. And then suddenly a pal of mine who's a Englishman but grew up in New Zealand, he just messaged saying England 58. Oh. And that was it. So it's like, oh wow, quick, get up, what's happened? You have to have a sense of humour with English cricket. You always have to. I know for a fact the Barmy Army boys will be in the pub tonight in Auckland, and they'll be having a great night. It's still. They might be a little bit shell-shocked, but they'll be needing a few stiffeners just to settle the nerves.
Yeah, exactly. I always said that. You need a good sense of humour to be an England cricket fan, and you need the ability to forget what's gone very, very fast and remain ever optimistic about the future.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's all about the draw now, which is not going to happen.
It could be on the weather. The weather, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do today, Rich, we're going to do a breakdown of day one of the first test, and each subsequent day through the test match, we'll be dropping an episode 10-15 minutes long where we kind of get into the details of what's gone on around the day. And Rich, let's start off with the team news. What was the selection calls for England and New Zealand?
The selections was a shocker. I mean, I'm not judging it too much, but it took me aback when I've looked through it. We assumed Livingston would come in for the underperforming Vince, but no, that wasn't the case for England. So it was Cook and Stoneman opening up. Root finally got himself up to number 3. Dawid Malan jumped up to number 4, and then Ben Stokes at 5. The news was that he's got a bit of a strain, so he's in the team as a specialist batsman. So I'm a little bit confused by that one. I love Ben Stokes. He's a top player, but after the lack of cricket, I'm not quite sure you'd have played him if he's not fit to bowl. Yeah. So he's at 5. Bairstow comes up at 6, which is, Bairstow's solid at 6, isn't he? Ali's 7, Wokes 8, Craig Overton came in at number 9, and then Broad and Anderson bringing up 10, 11. That was England. New Zealand. So we spoke about it the other day. Ravel was opening with Tom Latham, Kane Williamson at 3, Ross Taylor, Harvey Nichols. Sorry, Henry. BJ Watling got his recall as wicketkeeper. Colin de Grandhomme. They went with Todd Astle as the spinner, and then it was Southee, Wagner, and Boult. Although Wagner, not sure why he's in the team or why he's needed in the team after that first innings. That's how we lined up, mate. Big surprise with Stokes playing with an injury and no place for that extra batsman.
Yeah, I thought that was a surprise, Stokes. I didn't even, when the game actually started, I didn't see the introductions, I didn't see the team list. I got to see every single ball of the day, pretty much, touch wood. And I was surprised when I heard Ben Stokes won't be bowling. I was like, oh, that's a bit of a surprise. And then I looked through the list and I saw Overton's name on the list. And I thought, oh, okay, so Stokes can't bowl, who would be the fastest bowler in the team. And then we're going with Anderson, Broad, Overton and Wokes. And I just had this, it's like the Ashes all over again, where it's all samey, and we're going to struggle to, if it doesn't go our way, we've got nothing else. Moeen Ali isn't a test match quality spinner that's going to make a difference. He doesn't get the dip or the flight or the movement of a bowling Gary. He just doesn't do it. So I just think England have been a bit lacklustre with the selection across the board. Batting, Livingston was in form. He got 80-odd in the warm-ups. Great to see Root up at 3. Stokes at 5 as just a batsman in the team. I just don't think he's at that level yet.
No, I'd agree there. Big fan of Stokes as a player, but the lack of cricket he's had in the last six months or more, it's a very, very brave selection. I'll call it that, if you want to look at it from a positive. But I think if he's not fit to bowl, I've always been a believer in this. If you're not 100% fit, then have a sit down, relax, get yourself ready for the next game.
Yeah.
This isn't like it's a deciding test match.
No.
So I don't see the point in that selection. If he goes and smashes 100 in the second innings, I'll say what an idiot I am. This is absolutely fine. But that's a strange one. But let's not worry too much about that. That's the lineup. I agree with you. It's a bit of a surprise. If I was to see this lineup before the cricket started, I would have been sat there going, yeah, not sure about that team.
Yeah.
Doesn't really excite me.
No.
But let's see what happened. It might have gone really well, Rob.
Yeah, it might have done. So New Zealand won the toss, and Kane Williamson and ahed a little bit about what to do and decided to have a ball with a pink ball. Joe Root said he would want to have a bat, which Kane Williamson was kind of 50-50 on. So no captain was giving much away. I think no one was quite sure how the pitch was going to play. And I think what is the most incredible thing, and I did at one point hear a little bit of talk around the pitch being an issue. The pitch looked all right, bit green, a little bit too paced, but it was all right. It was actually the quality of the bowling and the lack of preparation and focus and foot movement from the English team that was the problem.
Right, before you blow a fuse, let's get into it. England, we can't wait any longer. 58 all out, dismissed for 58 inside the first session. That is shocking, embarrassingly bad. Just what can you say? What can you say? So first wicket to fall. Well, do you know what? Before I start talking about the wickets, I just want to say we want to be really positive about this bowling performance. Trent Boult and Tim Southee were the only two bowlers used. 20.4 overs. Boult 6 for 32, Southee 4 for 25. Unbelievable bowling from those guys.
Yeah.
Credit where it's due. They bowled against the guys. They put the effort in. They got the rewards. They executed the sort of what they wanted to do. They put the ball there. The ball was swinging, so they were letting the ball do what it needed to do with that pink ball. But I didn't see anything. The pitch didn't seem like it had any demons in it. It wasn't under a thundery sky where the ball was hooping around corners.
No.
It was nibbling a little bit, but it wasn't like it was under lights or anything. It was good bowling, but it wasn't astounding. It wasn't 58 all-out bowling, surely.
No, it wasn't. There was some bad shots in there. It was great bowling. Like, Trent Boult was on a different level. The way he was setting up batsmen was great, but it was the application and concentration and the shit. You are playing Test cricket, England players. Stop playing that sort of shot when you're a few wickets down on the start of the first Test of the first morning. It's just ludicrous.
Exactly.
Boycott's turning. He's not happy.
If Boycott was in, we'd have been at least 68 all out.
Yeah. I think one word I'm going to keep coming back to, probably across this whole podcast, probably across the whole series, probably so long as we do a podcast, is preparation. And I just look at the England preparation for this game and go, it couldn't have been worse. You played in Australia where there's not a lot of swing, and you're playing on a pitch where they're generally bowling just back of a good length. And then you played one-day cricket, and then you played T20 cricket in New Zealand, and you played one-day cricket, did two pointless back-to-back two-day games, and then you had Trent Boult. Now, Trent Boult was swinging it more, substantially a third more than what the ball had swung across Australia in all 5 Test matches. And it just showed. It showed from the footwork, and it showed from the shots they were trying to play. They were not in Test cricket mode.
No, well, you can't argue that, can you, with the result? So, let's get into it, mate. Let's get into it. It's too painful to talk about, but let's get into it. Alistair Cook, first wicket down, nicked off to Latham. I thought he just planted his foot there a little bit, but well bowled Boult.
Yeah.
Root went next, cleaned up from Boult. Through the gate, I thought Root was on the move on that shot. He hadn't quite planted his foot. He looked like me trying to drive. I mean, I'm a good driver when it's, if you like your drives up in the air and with your head leaning back a little bit, but not from number 3 of the England captain. So well bowled against Boult. Next wicket to fall, Milan. Good ball, I'd say, good ball. But this is one you said that there's a real good setup, caught by Watling.
Yeah, just solid bowling, good lines. And what Boult did really well, he was bowling length and line, literally a good length, and he was just generally taking it away. And then 3 of the wickets that he got where he actually pitched the ball up just slightly fuller of a good length, the England team were caught in the popping crease, both feet behind it, nicking off. It was clever bowling, poor, not in Test cricket mode application of batting.
Yeah, that's fine. So Cook and Root, it was 1 for 6 and 2 for 6 when they were out. Milan saw it at 3 for 16. We then saw a fantastic partnership between Stoneman and Stokes of 2 before Stoneman was dismissed. He got nowhere really on the crease. Again, caught behind, but this time off Tim Southee getting in on the act.
Yeah.
And this is where we had a run of 3 wickets without adding a score. 5 for 18 ended up being Ben Stokes' Boult. Angled bat, looked late on the ball. I'll just run part of the next one. At 6 for 18 was Bairstow. Leaning back, just dollied, trying to drive a lazy sort of shot, drive straight back at Southee, caught and bowled.
Yeah.
So that was 6 for 18. 6 for 18.
Yeah, it's a shocker, mate. The Ben Stokes one he kind of looked different. Honestly, it looked like he had seen everybody being stuck in the popping crease, and he was making a point to come forward. This is in the 8 balls that he was at the crease. But it was all about the setup. He bowled 4 deliveries, beautiful away swingers, went slightly wider of the crease, bowled one that angled in off the seam and hit the top of off. But Stokes, it's a great bit of bowling. You can't take it away from the bowler, but Stokes didn't look Test ready. Not at all.
No, and that top 6, Cook 5, Stoneman 11, Root none, Milan 2, Stokes is none, Bairstow none. Even if you added up the balls face as a score, it still wouldn't have been particularly impressive at 6 down.
No.
So anyway, Ali and Wokes at the crease at this point. So Wokes next man 7 for 23. Wokes went for driving on the walk again, I think you could say.
Yeah.
On the move, didn't really get his foot there in time. He went for 5 off 9. Moeen then went at 23 again. This was a strange one. Really lazy shot. High back lift, but it almost looked like he was just thinking of something else. Oh, I should try and get my bat down on this.
Yeah, it was stuck like a mental block. It's almost like he tried to play the first defensive shot that we've probably seen all innings, and just got stuck halfway, not knowing what to do. Because you look at Bairstow, Root, Stokes to a degree, they're not playing a defensive stroke that's solid and strong. Like Mark Richardson was commentating, going, one of the best things you can do as an opening batsman is have a solid defensive shot, front foot, the bowler walks back going, oh, he's quite good. There was none of that. None of that. Still playing one-day shots, mate.
Sometimes you have to put the wall up, don't you? So, but that middle order, 5, 6, 7, Stokes, Bairstow, Ali, 0, 0, 0. 20 balls faced between them. So Ali, he was dismissed. Yeah, brilliant. Boult Southee. Wokes, believe was Broad was the next man out, was he? Let's have a look. No, Wokes, yeah. I apologise. Wokes was out bowled. I've said that. Then Broad just played a broad shot.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about that. And that was at 27 for 9. 27 for 9. I don't know how, from that, we actually got to 58 all out. I think that's a fantastic effort.
Yeah, Overton just justifying his selection with the bat, unfortunately, down at number 9. Just went out there and played a few shots. Middled it, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, 132 strike rate. What are you all messing about, lads? Come on. 33 off 25, 5 fours, 1 6. Good on you. Not out, Craig Overton. Jimmy A, 1 off 11. He was the last man out. 58 all out. And it was just catching practice from him. 1 extra. So actually, extras outscored 5 of the England batsmen.
Just an incredible performance. Incredible by New Zealand. Honestly, there was points where this was on to be the lowest score ever in Test cricket. The lowest score ever in Test cricket was 26. And England were, 23 for 8 at one point? They were teetering with history and not good history.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable, mate. You don't expect to wake up to this. You don't expect to watch this. Obviously, we spoke about the Australia at Trent Bridge on the last pod being 61 all out. Maybe we shouldn't have spoke about that.
I know, it brings back bad memories. We've all been there in club cricket, mate. We've all been rolled. We know how it feels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we usually pretend we're on tour, don't we, when it starts happening like this?
We do.
So,
We've always got beer after the game. They might not be
we're on
allowed it.
tour. You need one after this. So New Zealand, they picked up the bat, and they kind of did what you would always expect New Zealand to do after a team has been skittled like that: is go out and just bat normally, do the basics, get your feet moving, commit yourself to the ball, make strong decisions outside your off stump. It's not complicated when you really look at it. So they finished the day 175 for 3, 69 overs, going at 2.5 and over. So they weren't racing, but then you're up against 58. You don't need to race.
Nah.
You've got another 4 days of Test cricket to play after this. Weather is an issue, obviously, but you can't really accommodate that. Just go and bat. Just go and bat and get yourself a lead. So I think it's 117 lead as we hit stumps. Jeet Ravel was the first wicket down. He lasted 23 balls for 3 runs, caught behind off Anderson. That doesn't sound like a particularly fluid innings there, Rob.
No, it wasn't. He was dropped at one point. I think Joe Root spilled him at slip as well. He looked all right. But interestingly enough, Broad, the ball before this, turned around to Anderson and said, "We're bowling too wide, mate. We need to bowl at him." Next one was at him, and he fended it straight through to Bairstow. So clever bowling by the opening 2 bowlers. Yeah,
absolutely. And then nice partnership between Tom Latham, who's the fellow opener, and then Captain Kane Williamson, who came in at number 3. Latham, he got 26, another steady knock there, 3 boundaries off 112 balls, caught Woakes bowled Broad. And we need to just take a moment here. Broady, that was his 400th Test wicket. Youngest seamer to get to that figure. I believe only Glenn McGrath has got to it quicker from Test debut to number 400. And he's the second Englishman to hit the 400.
Epic, mate. Epic.
It's really proud, isn't it? It's really proud for us. Yeah.
I don't know. We always had some decent bowlers over years. Like Darren Gough was good for a period. Devon Melkin was good for 1 or 2 tests. And then we had Harmison and Hoggard here, and that's where we started to see a couple of decent partnerships kind of coming in terms of bowling. But Broad and Anderson, when they're been and gone, mate, we will be lost for a long time trying to replace those two. Broady, just exceptional cricketer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just to touch on it, best of 8 for 15 again. That was that performance against Australia we spoke about in 2005 at Trent Bridge. If you want to know, Michael Clarke's his bunny. He's dismissed him 11 times. Avey de Villiers is 10, and Ross Taylor is on 9. So Ross Taylor, 3 more innings for Ross Taylor to come.
That's not.
He could become the bunny.
That's not bad. Not a bad collection of bunnies, to be fair, is it?
It's not bad, is it? Shane Watson's in there as well, which I've just got to mention him because I just love seeing Shane Watson get out LBW. One of my favourite things in cricket.
Shane Watson.
So Latho, as you call him, 26, he was out. Williamson then had a nice little partnership with Taylor. Taylor went for 20 off 35 balls, caught Woakes again, bowled Anderson this time. Kane Williamson, 91 not out overnight, 177 balls, 10 fours, 1 6, and Henry Nichols, 24 off 67, 2 boundaries. Solid. Really, really solid display. Kane Williamson is showing why he is one of the top 3 or 4 batsmen in the world at the moment. Root, probably a little bit frazzled. It's a bit of a Root versus Williamson Test series, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the key battle in the batters, and Williamson is obviously hands down winning that one. It should also be noted as well, Williamson with one of the best catches you'll see. To take Broad, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a beauty, mate. Dive in, full stretch to the left-hand side. It was kind of Andrew Strauss-esque from the Ashes all the way back in England that year. Not quite as good as that, but still something you tell your grandkids about. Yeah,
absolutely. So just looking at the bowling, Anderson, 2 for 32 off 13, going to 2.5. Broady did keep the new ball, 1 for 24. So whatever all the talk about Broad not having the new ball, he had the new ball.
He bowled well.
Overton, good. I'm 1.6. I bloody well hope he did. So Overton 43 off his 15, Woakes 36 off his 15, no wickets apiece, and Ali bowled 11 overs under the lights, 34. So what you tell me, Rob, you watched it. What, from the bowling, how did they take 10 wickets in a day? Yeah. And how did we only get 3 wickets and they just cruise at 2.5 and over to 175 for 3 at close?
I think what you're going to see after this Test series is a bit more development into what the pink ball does. So the pink ball, the Kiwis were swinging it massively. and I say massively, heaps more than what it did the whole time in the Ashes with the red ball, right? The ball was going over a degree most times. And then during the sessions, it got less and less. They changed the ball 2 or 3 times because it kept losing its shape. And that's not to say, the ball is the problem. I don't know what the problem was. The England team were literally swinging the ball, looking at the stats, over 0.5% less than the English team than the New Zealand team in terms of percentage-wise and the angle of the swing. And they looked one-dimensional. It unfortunately looked a little bit like the Ashes. They saw off Anderson and Broad. Yes, Jeter and Raval went, but that's fine. Tommy Latham got stuck in, batted superbly, and then just chipped one up to mid-wicket off Stuart Broad. A leg stump half volley, really. So he'll be gutted with himself. But when Overton came into the attack, that's where my head was scratching, going, this is the wrong decision. And again, he may turn around and take 5 wickets. He's a big unit. He'll get a bit of bounce. And he did get a bit more purchase in the final hour of play. But I just looked at it and went, there's nothing. Like, the Kiwis were looking pretty set. And all we had to do was go to Moeen Ali to bowl in the last hour of the play, where you want your fast bowler steaming, grit, piss and vinegar, trying to make something happen in the test. And it was just like, Henry Nicholls can just go and play himself in and get 24 not out.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seems it's just bizarre as day cricket. I mean, obviously, nothing more can be said really, other than it has been a bizarre day's cricket. Without going back into the selection, you would expect more under the lights with the pink ball. That's when you would expect it to be really difficult for the batsman. With that ball moving around, but it obviously wasn't the case today. And whether that's the players, the execution, the ball, I don't know. England always like to make an excuse over the ball they've got, don't they, if it's not moving.
They were going back and forth with the umpire. Literally every other over the ball was going to the little hoop thing to see if it would go through.
I just want to see. So the anticipation's killing me. Will it go through the hole again? Yeah. Oh. So,
it's just
get on. Get on with it. What does Bumble say? Get on with the game. Get on with the game. Just get bowling with it. If it's not swinging, do something different. Cross seam it.
Yeah.
Do something different. Stick it deeper into your hand. Try some different balls, some variations. Just do something. Just keep grafting until it does do something. It will give you something back eventually if you keep grafting.
Yeah. One thing that is starting to get to me, and I'm a huge Moeen Ali fan, is his lack of ability with the ball at the test level is diminishing quite quickly. In the home series against South Africa, I love this. There's a Twitter account called the Cricket Professor, and it is insane. So in the series against South Africa last year, he got an average drift of 2.57 degrees and took 25 wickets at 15. Since then, it's reduced to less than 1.9, a fall of about 26%, and his bowling average is 5 wickets at 121. Something's obviously going on. And Stuart Broad, for all the work he'd been doing at the Nottinghamshire thing, his hands, it was going close up to the ball on the Sky TV cameras, showing it was slightly coming. His fingers were running down the side of the ball. Not on purpose. He just wasn't getting his wrist behind the ball.
Yeah, it's been a long old winter for England. We've still got potentially another 9 days of cricket to be played in New Zealand. It's been a very long winter. You've got to, that's got to be part of it. There's some guys that have been away a long, long time. I know they've had breaks, come back, but that's tough. The preparation hasn't been particularly good, has it? New Zealand are in the middle of their season. They're kind of hitting their straps, aren't they, at this point? It couldn't have come at a better time for them. Plenty of reasons, but I think we just have to give massive, massive credit to Kane Williamson, to his 2 bowlers, Trent Boult and Tim Southee, that were absolutely different class today. And England, let's see what they do. Let's see how they respond. I mean, we spoke in one of the previous pods after I'd had a quick chat with Graham Swan, and he was saying about the bravery of the one-day team.
Yeah.
And kind of, like I say, without kind of going too far, inferring that the bravery wasn't necessarily there from this test side. So we need to see a response. We need to see a reaction. England tend to react when they've had an absolute punch in the face. That's when we tend to see England really come back. So hopefully, day 2, they get stuck into the Kiwis, they can get batting again, and they can bat for a day or so.
Exactly.
And then see if they can make a game of this. But it's all about their reaction now. This game could be over inside 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
If England don't sort themselves out.
I've got to ask Rich. So we had predictions before the series, and I said an England 2-0 victory. That's kind of gone out of the window.
I think I said 1-1, did I?
You said 1-1. Now, the big question is, what is the scorecard going to show this time tomorrow when we set up on YouTube again?
Oh, man, I have no clue. No clue. Honestly, it all depends on which England team turns up. Yeah. If a decent England team turns up, we could be looking at, they could have bowled New Zealand out for 250, another 100 runs, let's say, 275, and England could be 150 for 2.
Yeah.
Who knows, something like that. Or New Zealand could still be batting.
Yeah. I think there's a bit of rain in the air for tomorrow, so it may do a bit. A little bit of rain might spicing up that pitch a little bit, because it was zipping through in that last hour. And we're not far away from the second new ball for England. So I'm going to say the Kiwis are probably going to make about 350 in this innings. I think Williamson, I don't think he's going to make 100. There's my bold call for this series. He is going to get out in the 90s. He's got a bit of a out in the 90s reputation a few years ago. But I've got a feeling.
Right. Okay. Lock it in. Well, let's see. Let's have a lock tomorrow.
Lock it in.
I suppose we should just maybe say at this point that we will be talking about everything else that is going on in the world at the moment on the next kind of main pod. We'll get your latest news. The Nidahas Trophy wrapped up. Cricket World Cup qualifiers is unbelievable. Why the ICC won't just allow more teams to play in the World Cup, I'll never know. So many deserving nations. Pakistan Super League coming to a close. North v South. There's so much, mate, isn't there? So I think this is why we wanted to just do this just brief one day to day on England, New Zealand, and then we will pick up as we usually do, towards the end of the week with the main pod. We will. It's exciting times ahead. Looking forward to recording the remainder of the next episode of the podcast, probably this weekend. And we'll be dropping this every single night around 11 p.m. New Zealand time, so about 10 a.m. UK time. So on your drive to work, wherever you are, sat at the office, you can switch it on and you can listen to us talk about England's sixth lowest test total of all time. But Rich, I think that's us done for today. It's a disappointing day. It's a great day for the Kiwis, and I'm going to try and avoid the workplace tomorrow. Yeah, and I can't wait for tomorrow's pod when it rains all day and we'll just kind of have a little chat for 5 minutes and put that one out as a podcast.
That'll be nice. That will be nice. It's been awesome, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Leave a like if you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's bye from me.
See you later.